The Day in Tech History is sponsored by CashFly over at CACHEFLY.com, where you can host your podcast and get a 14-day free trial.
Jeffrey Powers here. I welcome you to the Day in Tech History, a full rundown of technology history 7 days a week. Subscribe to the show via iTunes, Stitcher, or download right from dayintechhistory.com. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. November 7th, 1492, the Ensisheim meteorite, the first meteorite with a known date of impact, strikes the Earth around noon in a wheat field outside of France. 1631, Pierre Gassendi makes the first observation of the transit of a planet. Johannes Kepler had predicted the transit of Mercury would occur in 1631. 1903, Léon Garamond demonstrates the first sound films to the Société of Photographers in France. 1908, Professor Ernest Rutherford announced in London that he had isolated a single atom of matter. 1911, Alan Archibald Campbell Swinton, in his presidential address to the Rontgen Society in London, suggested that a high-definition television is possible with cathode ray tubes. He wouldn't publish a paper until 1924. 1918, Dr. Robert Hutchings Goddard demonstrated the tube-launched solid propellant rocket using a music stand as his launching platform. 1932, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century premieres on the radio. 1935, Royal National Institute for the Blind issues the first talking book using 12-inch discs. 1946, the first U.S. coin-operated television was publicly exhibited in New York City. 1960, at the Rand Corporation, the JOS conventional time-sharing service was first implemented on the Yohanic computer. 1982, United Feature Syndicate sues Creative Computing for copyright infringement, asking Creative Computing to stop selling the computer game Snoopy and destroy existing video cartridges. 1986, Atari makes an initial public offering, 4.5 million shares for $11.25, and they raised about $50.6 million. 1988, USA Today publishes an article on the Morris worm as its headline story. It describes the worm as the worst computer virus outbreak in history, with over 6,000 computers being affected. 1990, Xenix files an antitrust complaint against Microsoft, accusing it of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act by using its control of operating system environment user interfaces to control the mouse pointer market. 1994, Apple Computer, IBM, and Motorola announced that they would create a computer platform to run on all major operating systems except the Intel x86-based Microsoft Windows 3.1 and their successors. The Common Hardware Reference Platform, CHRP, pronounced CHIRP, is designed to create a common standard for future computers to make ports of both operating systems and application software easier. Also in 1994, the Electrical Engineering Times ran a cover story about flaws in Intel's Pentium computer chip, an obscure flaw that would cause extremely rare computation errors when performing certain types of mathematical calculations. And the University of Carolina student radio station WXYC began the first internet radio broadcast. 1996, NASA launched the Mars Global Surveyor from Cape Canaveral on its mission to Mars.
If you love the Day in Tech History, then I encourage you to join my Patreon movement over at patreon.com/geekazine. Your contribution keeps the lights on and more Day in Tech History episodes available. Pledge as little as $1 a month or $12 a year for 365 days of podcasts. Add to that all the content from geekazine.com, morninggeeks.com, and other shows that I produce. That's over at patreon.com/geekazine. Now let's get back into your day in tech history.
In 2000, Pets.com closes its doors and lays off 80% of its staff. The company blames the layoffs on the tough environment for business-to-consumer internet companies. In June, the online pet supply retailer began selling sock puppets of its mascot, which quickly became the company's best-selling product. Also in 2000, Reuters news service breaks the story that a 19-year-old Dutch hacker using the handle Dimitri broke into Microsoft's internal web servers during the previous week to demonstrate the vulnerability caused by the company not installing their own security patches. And Seagate Technology, a major American manufacturer of hard drives, announced that it would supply hard drives for Microsoft's Xbox video game system. 2001, the .biz top-level domain becomes active, intended for domains to be used by businesses. 2002, in New York, Microsoft officially unveiled the Windows XP Tablet PC Edition operating system. 2003, the Star Wars Clone Wars television series premiered on the Cartoon Network. The series would run for 25 episodes. 2005, AMD released the 1 GHz Athlon 64 1500 Plus processor featuring a 512 kilobit Level 2 cache. 2006, Hewlett-Packard announced that it had completed the acquisition of Mercury Interactive, a company that produced business technology optimization software applications that could help a company develop, govern, and maintain information technology. Also in 2006, Microsoft announced that it would offer over 1,000 hours of movies and television episodes for download on the Xbox 360. And on November 7th of 2007, it was a special day for us, so we'll throw this in here. Geekazine.com officially goes online. I started the podcast early October and then created Geekazine.com. And then on November 7th, it officially became Geekazine. 2008, Washington police arrested a guy who robbed an armored car. He used Craigslist to put together the heist list. He hired dress-alike decoys, then escaped on an inner tube. He was recognized through a license plate and then captured. 2011, Google launched the brand pages in Google+. 2012, Microsoft released SkyDrive app for Windows Phone 8 devices. And in 2013, Twitter began trading on the stock market at $26 a share. They closed at over $44 a share. And Solid Concepts successfully created the first 3D printed metal gun and fired over 50 rounds. And that's your day in tech history. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at Day in Tech Hist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2015, JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.